Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever your current life situation is. Hello, YouTube. This is Jeffrey Kite back again with another episode of Kite's Curiosities. It's been a wonderful start to the summer so far. I'm getting back in the TTM autograph request game. Hadn't done that in a while. I've got 4 to go out today. I had 5 sent out earlier this week. It's been got some bangers coming back. Hopefully, it's been a good time researching some different athletes and celebrities to try to see who I can get in the mail, and been doing a little bit of reading, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Recap and a review of this limited series that I picked up called The New Adventures with the Eighth Doctor, Doctor Who, and it's a 5-issue collected hardcover edition. The Eighth Doctor from Titan Comics. There was only 5 issues of the Eighth Doctor series, so I picked it up. And y'all, I don't know if I've told y'all this or not on this channel, but I've found my niche in comic book collecting, and it's these limited series, and I really like them. You get a nice, full, complete story, and you don't have to worry too much about continuity and keeping up with some things, and those longer issues and things like that. I'll probably go to trade paperbacks for the longer issues that are 20, 25, 30, 300, all those legacy comics. Read some of those, but I picked this up and I thought it was pretty interesting. I've never read Doctor Who before, and I was pleasantly surprised. So to give you a little bit of a background on Doctor Who, just in case you don't know much about him, he's a character that's been around since 1966. He was a BBC, British Broadcasting channel. I think that's where the channel that the show originated on, back in Great Britain and parts of England and the United Kingdom. Been around since 1966. And he's basically a time-traveling alien from a group of beings that are known as the Time Lords. And the Time Lords, their purpose is to travel the universe, to explore the worlds, and to stop all these intergalactic disasters that happen, or that are about to happen, through like intellectual logic and helping people talk things out instead of all these warring conflicts and fighting and death and that kind of thing. And the Doctor, that's what he calls himself, the Doctor. He always seems to pick up like this average, everyday, run-of-the-mill earthling human companion to go with him on all these journeys. And, he gets these quests and he gets that human perspective to help him, kind of, come up with ideas to solve problems. The Doctor, it's kind of weird. He ages and he gets fatal injuries at times, or some kind of damage. And the Doctor always dies. And so the Doctor will die, but then regenerate himself, and that's why you have the 8th Doctor, the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. I don't know what Doctor they're on now, but he keeps coming back. Now, the Doctor can die permanently if he receives some kind of catastrophic injuries, but so far in the series, that's always been threatened but never come to fruition or anything. The Doctor, he travels through space in this thing called the TARDIS, which stands for Time and Relative Dimension in Space, TARDIS. And in the show, this TARDIS is in the shape of a police call box that you would find in the United Kingdom. And so it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. So it looks like a regular police call box, but when you step in it, it's this vast network of rooms and chambers and computer equipment and all this kind of stuff. And he has a tool that he travels with called the sonic screwdriver. And this sonic screwdriver, it helps him, escape different dangers and stuff like that. And he can use it as a tool to perform various tasks. And so that's pretty much the whole premise of this story and stuff. The Eighth Doctor is played by an actor named Paul McGann, and that's who this fella is right here, the little depiction right there. And apparently the ladies love this particular version of the Doctor. And he didn't have a long run on the show, from what I understand, but he connected with a lot of the audience members. So he's kind of a beloved version of Doctor Who and stuff. So, but anyway, I picked this up, and there's your synopsis of Doctor Who and what he is and who he is. And so now let's get into this book right here and give you a nice review. So the main characters in this particular story is the Doctor, a Time Lord of the Gallifrey, the Eighth Doctor, charming, romantic, all those things. You can pause the video and read his description right here. And then his companion for this story is a young lady named Josephine Day. And she is an artist, specifically a painter that, runs into some trouble here when she meets up with the Doctor. And then, of course, the TARDIS. That's the police call box that they will be traveling through the dimensions in all of those adventures and all of the things that's going on and stuff. So just taking a look at the artwork here. I mean, the artwork in and of itself pretty good. I mean, it's a lot of people, if you look on Goodreads, they kind of make comments about it, and it's like it's too cartoonish, or it doesn't really look like Paul McGann. I mean, folks, we're talking about a comic book here, okay? It's not going to be exactly like your TV show. So, but that's one knock that they put on it. But give you a quick synopsis of the story. The Doctor and Josephine, they meet and get to talking to each other and introduce themselves and kind of get to know each other and that kind of thing. And Josephine tells the Doctor that she's a painter, and she paints all these paintings about these, futuristic beings. Well, unbeknownst to her, these supernatural beings that she paints in her paintings actually come alive and come out of the painting and go about terrorizing the countryside. And so the Doctor and Josephine, they're like, oh no, we gotta stop this. We gotta figure out what we need to do. So they go through some different scenarios and different things, and eventually the Doctor helps Josephine get all the creatures back into the paintings where they belong. And from there, they form their friendship and their alliance, and he likes her, and she obviously likes him a bunch. And so they get to sitting around and digging through some of his old books, and they find this kind of list of instructions and that kind of thing. It's a list. It's like a to-do list, and it's written in all these different codes. And so they go about on the adventure to figure out what all those codes are and to solve all the problems that the previous Doctor apparently had written down for his next incarnation to come along and resolve. A cute little story. To be honest with you, it gets kind of muddled for a little bit. It's not great, but it's not terrible. But then again, this is my first experience with Doctor Who. It's my first time reading anything about him. My first, experience with this character. So I found it to be okay. Parts of this it's a little rushed. It kind of doesn't make sense for a lot of the book until the very end. So it's kind of suspenseful. You're reading it and it's like, well, why are they going on all these adventures? What's the purpose of it? And George Mann, I think, the author of this story, I think he did a really good job capturing how frantic and squirrely the Paul McGann doctor was in the TV show. He was just kind of like, like a squirrel chaser, like, oh yes, that reminds me, and just takes off and goes about in a totally different direction, or he gets these sudden ideas and it's like, oh, that's right, I can do this. And so all in all, it's pretty good. If you go on Goodreads and look at the reviews, this whole series gets a 3.95 on Goodreads. 44% of the people that did a review on this Doctor Who, the Adventures of the Eighth Doctor of Doctor Who, 44% of them gave it a 4 out of 5 star rating. So you can take that for what you will on that. Do I recommend it? If you like science fiction, if you like Doctor Who, I think this would be a really good read for you. If not, and you kind of wanting to find out about the Doctor Who, I would try to find the very first Doctor and go from there, and lead up to these older and later incarnations of Doctor Who. I think that probably would have given me a better experience with this book, but nonetheless, just a standalone story. It was okay. I enjoyed it. So that's it. That's all I have. This is my review of the New Adventures with the Eighth Doctor, Doctor Who. Have you read this comic book? Have you explored the world of Doctor Who? If you have, tell me down in the comments what you think about this little 5-issue series. As always, folks, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Till next time, y'all take care now. Have a good one. Bye.